How do I set up a remote cleaning business? Imagine having a business where you have complete location freedom. One where you can go on vacation and log into your business and have that run for you. This is something that is entirely possible to do. I have a remote cleaning business myself, one that is operational in 4 cities, and I have actually not set foot in 2 of those locations. So in this video, I'm going to take you through and condense the last 10 years of my experience running my remote cleaning business and take you through the step-by-step process you need to go through to set things up. Stay to the end of the video and I'll tell you when things get really interesting when you combine a remote cleaning business with having virtual assistants running your company for you. This is something I call the 2-hour work week. And this is something that allows you to have a business that generates income for you with very little of your time each week. So let's jump straight into it. So how do I set up a remote cleaning business? Really, you have to be able to answer the following 2 key questions. So question 1 is, can I get new clients and can I hire new cleaners completely remotely? In other words, without having to have any face-to-face interaction with these potential clients or these cleaning applicants. So first of all, let's look at how we get cleaning clients. So with marketing or client marketing, everything needs to be digital. We need to be getting in front of potential clients by using online advertising and online marketing channels. So I talk about marketing a lot in my channel, but for me, it's all about Google. So Google and advertising on Google, in my experience, is where you will get the best clients, the clients that will pay the highest prices, and the clients or the leads that will have the highest chance of closing to actual clients. So Google, Google Ads, Google Local Service Ads, and Google SEO are the 3 main channels that I use to run my 7-figure cleaning business. There are other channels that I think are worth looking at. I talk about this extensively on my channel. Do let me know in the comments if you want me to link to those videos, but there are various pay-per-lead sites such as Bark and Thumbtack that I think are worth looking at. Yelp is another channel that used to be extremely effective. Less effective these days, but again is worth putting a bit of money into work to see how that channel performs for you. The key takeaway from this is everything needs to be online. You need to be advertising online. You need to be finding your clients online. You cannot be running with offline marketing channels. Things like sending flyers out to potential clients or going to networking events and trying to get in front of property managers or potential clients in that way. If you need to have a physical, physical basis in your location, that by its definition isn't a remote cleaning business. You need to run everything digitally, run everything online, and Google is where I would suggest that you focus your resources. So client marketing is online, but cleaner recruitment is also online. So really the Google of the recruitment world, in other words, where people go to find jobs, is Indeed.com. This is where you will find the majority of your new cleaner applicants. The way Indeed works is that you can create a job ad. You can say we are going after house cleaning applicants within this specific location, and you can create an advert. And how Indeed works is similar to how Google Ads works. So every time your advert is clicked on, Indeed will charge you an amount of money for each click. So again, everything is digital. We're not doing face-to-face recruitment. So Indeed is really the top of the recruitment funnel. You've created the advert. Now you're getting people applying for your job. Maybe they're calling you up, or maybe they're sending an online application form. So what happens next? So this is really where remote cleaning and on-location cleaning differ. So the old school method is obviously face-to-face interviews, people coming into a local office, you doing a face-to-face interview. That is the old way of recruiting. The new way, or the remote cleaning way, is digital. So use Zoom, use telephone interviews as your primary mechanism to interview your cleaning applicants. The way we do it is we will actually have series of interviews, telephone interviews and Zoom interviews, because one of the things, particularly for those of you that are relatively new to the cleaning industry, is that you will find that, as you start your business, there'll be lots of cleaners that maybe show up late for jobs, or maybe don't show up at all, or maybe give you very late notice. And you want to weed out those people early on, and ideally not hire those people. So you can use this this interview process as a way to see, are these people going to be showing up on time? Can they manage their time? Are they trying to reschedule your interviews? So have, for example, an initial phone call, get them to call you up, rather than you calling them. Again, that shows initiative on their side, that they are, they can manage their calendar and then call you at exactly the right time. We will do an initial phone call screening, and then if we like that person, we'll shortlist them and then do a Zoom session. And a Zoom session is really helpful. It's more useful in effect than a phone interview, because you get to see what that person's manner is like over the video. Obviously, ideally it would be face to face, but on a Zoom session, you can see how people interact. And this is obviously really important, particularly in the house cleaning industry, where they will be the face of your company. They will be engaging with your clients. If they have a nice manner with you over the Zoom, then they are likely to have a nice manner with your potential clients. So you can pick this up in a Zoom video call rather than a phone call. But again, I would suggest using maybe at least 2 phone call or Zoom sessions in your interview process, and use this as a replacement for the old school face-to-face interviewing that was very common even 5 or 10 years ago. Now with Zoom, everything is easier. It makes recruitment and interviewing far easier. So again, everything needs to be done online and remotely. So use Zoom, use the phone to conduct your interviews. So that is question 1. That is the way that we bring on new clients into our business, and that's how we hire new cleaners into our business. Everything is done remotely. So question 2 is that now that we have an idea of how to bring in cleaners and bring in clients, question 2 becomes, how do we manage those clients once they're in our calendar? And how do we manage the cleaners once they start working in our company? So again, let's start with the client side to begin with. So broadly, clients will engage with your company, or you will engage with clients by 2 main means. So email, you will either send clients emails, they will send you them back. Today, accessing email through an online login is very common. So we don't really need to worry too much about that. We use Google Apps, and you can sync up your company email address to a Google interface. And that is very easy. You simply just go to Google, Gmail, enter your login details, and then you can you can contact your clients, and the clients can get back to you on email remotely. So we don't need to worry about that. Point 2 is more important, however. So point 2 is phone, using the phone. So, either you calling up clients or clients calling into you. So many startup business owners in the cleaning industry will use their cell phone to begin with, and that is the easiest way to get set up. That is the way that I got set up at the beginning, and that is absolutely fine. But using your phone, your cell phone or your landline does limit the ability that you have to run a cleaning business remotely. So let's say you are based in Chicago, say you're going on vacation to Europe. You still want to run your business. This is how do we run this remote cleaning business? If you have your cell phone, you're going to be incurring overseas charges. If you had a landline, obviously in Chicago, you can't access that because you're in Europe now. So the way to go about this is to use something called online telephone software. It's called Voice over IP. And this is where you can log into your telephone software, and examples are RingCentral, examples are OpenPhone. They give you a login, and you can basically just take your laptop with you you can log into that software, and then you can simply take calls over your laptop. You might plug in a headphone or something like that. But importantly, it doesn't matter whether you're based in Chicago or whether you're based in Europe. You will still be able to log in and take calls and make calls. Clients will be able to call you. You'll get a notification through your laptop once you logged into the software, and likewise you will be able to initiate calls and call those clients up as well. So using a voice over IP, a telephone software, is a key step in terms of setting up that remote cleaning business and being able to engage with your existing clients. So that is the client side. So how do we manage cleaners? So we need to spend a few more minutes thinking about this, because it does take a bit of time. When your cleaners are cleaning your clients' properties, they will need two things. They can obviously do the cleaning, but they'll need the cleaning products and they'll need the equipment. So if you are providing the products or you're providing the equipment, then you are really locked down in your local location. You'll need to either have storage facilities where you have all the products and they can pick them up and the equipment, or you'll need to distribute it somehow. Maybe the equipment breaks. How do you replace it? How do you get it fixed? So the equipment and products can be a big stumbling block to wanting to set up a remote cleaning business. So how do I go about it in my business? So I do it in two simple ways, and I think simplicity is really, really important. The simpler you keep your operations, this is a more general point, the quicker you'll grow. So for us, what we do is we tell our cleaners, we use contractors, but it could work with W-2s as well. We tell our cleaners that they are responsible for buying and buying their own products and making sure they have sufficient products for every single client job that they go to. Obviously, that costs them money, so we will pay them a bit more to cover their costs. But importantly, it completely takes away the management of the cleaning products. We put the management and making sure that they have enough products on the cleaner, but we pay them for it. It means that frees us up completely from having that headache of, what happens when a cleaner's products runs out? How do we buy replacements? How do they pick up replacements? Do they need to go to the storage facility? What is the code for the storage facility? And all those headaches. So we get our cleaners to manage their products for them. Secondly is the equipment. So vacuums, mops and buckets, any of the heavy non-cleaning product equipment, we also need to think about how that is managed. So what we have decided, and as I said, our cleaning business has been going for, coming up to 8 or 9 years now, is that we actually focus only on recurring house cleaning clients. So we no longer do any deep cleans, we no longer do any move and move out cleans. And the primary reason for that was that when I set up the big business right at the beginning, I knew that I wanted to have a relatively remote cleaning business. So obviously with the deep cleans, the move in, move out cleans, you need heavier duty equipment. You need more powerful vacuums to make sure all the dust and dirt is sucked up. But with your recurring clients, with your weeklies and bi-weeklies, really, within a week or 2 weeks between jobs, you will never really get such a huge accumulation of dust and dirt that you'll need a heavy duty vacuum. So really just the standard domestic vacuum mop and bucket will do the job very, very well. And what we do is that we obviously only focus on recurring clients for that reason. But what we also do is that we tell our clients that we need them to provide a vacuum and a mop and bucket. 95% of our cleaning clients already have that. You will very unlikely come across a client that doesn't have a vacuum or mop and bucket. And if they don't, that is probably a bit of a red flag, because if they don't have that, maybe they don't keep their property in a very clean condition, and maybe you want to question whether you want to actually service that client. But that's a different discussion. So we ask that our clients provide the vacuum and mop and bucket. We can obviously, some clients, will say, okay, what do you recommend? And we can obviously give recommendations. But again, the vacuum and the mop and bucket is something that is owned by the client. It is not our responsibility. There will be some clients that don't want to provide that. They want you to provide that. And that is absolutely fine. In my business, we will say simply, unfortunately, this is the way that we work. We need you to provide the equipment. If you can't do that, that's not a problem, but you will probably need to find another cleaning company to do that for you. So the equipment is managed by the client. Obviously, if there are any breakages, they would need to replace it, but it takes that management off our hands. And again, this is how we get to that goal of having a remote cleaning business. If we owned all the equipment and the equipment was breaking or we needed to replace it and the cleaners were using it, that would be an additional issue. And that brings me on to the final point in terms of managing your cleaners, and that's vehicles. And if you have all the equipment and you will probably need to get your cleaners to travel to client jobs with their own with vehicles. And vehicles is something that I see an awful lot. We don't want to be owning any vehicles in our cleaning business. That is really the polar opposite of having a remote cleaning business. Vehicles or lease vehicles will require upkeep, will require petrol to be added, insurance, all additional headaches. So by all means, get your cleaners to use their own vehicles. Many of them will need to, depending on your location. Obviously, some of the big urban locations, they can probably use public transport, but where you need vehicles, what we do when we're recruiting cleaners is that we say you need to provide your own vehicles to get to jobs. And again, like the cleaning products, we will pay them an additional amount for their mileage. But again, if something happens to their vehicle, it breaks down or needs repair, and that's not our management, it's on them. They need to make sure it's working. They need to make sure that they've got enough petrol. They need to make sure that they're insured, etc., etc. But again, it takes the management off our hands and it allows us to get to that position of running a remote cleaning business. So the final part of managing the clients and cleaners, and this is a key point, is payment. How does payment work? Because a lot of the old school cleaning businesses that I speak to will still use cash payments, less so now after COVID, but you can take cash, check, online bank transfer, card payment, and really what we want to do is simplify operations completely. So running a remote cleaning business means we do not take cash payment. Some clients will want to pay cash or by check. Again, we will tell those clients, unfortunately, we don't offer that option. How do we take online payments? So we use Stripe, which is a bank card processor. And if you are using any scheduling software to run your cleaning business, as you probably should be, again, I talk about this widely on my channel, there are lots of examples of scheduling software like ZenMaid, like Booking Koala, Launch 27. There are lots of maid service scheduling softwares out there. And this is basically a glorified online calendar where you can see all your client jobs, you can see all their details. Your cleaners can log in, see the locations, addresses, what needs doing. And importantly, all of them have this payment processing software integrated into them. So whenever a job completes, you can click job completed and the client is charged on their card straight away. So the payment processing is a key part of running this remote cleaning business. If you have cash payments and you're moving cash and getting it deposited at banks and paying cleaners by cash and all those sorts of things, that you cannot run a remote cleaning business. You will need a local presence in your locations. So I hope this video has been helpful. As I said, when things get really interesting is once you have this remote cleaning business structure in place, you can then hire a virtual assistant to run your business for you. You can hire someone within your own country. You could also hire someone in other countries around the world, maybe some of the cheaper countries in the world where you can pay a lower hourly rate than you could do domestically. You obviously just need to provide login details to them, and effectively they can manage your inbox, they can run recruitment, they can bring on new cleaners and clients, and they can manage your schedule for you. So in this next video, I take you through something that I call the 2-hour work week. This is the amount of time I spend on my cleaning business every week because I have a remote cleaning business structure in place and because I have virtual assistants logging into my business and running the business for me. So I will see you on the next one.